ambiance was awesome. I ate a lot of food, and again, I said I wasn't going to, and I did. But well, hey, I bet a lot of people saying the same thing. Anyway, we have a special guest, Kimberly Konsky from City of Homestead. She just got elected, her first time, and we're here to talk about her experiences and what she sees ahead for the future of City of Homestead. Kimberly, thank you for coming in. Can you tell the audience a little bit about you?
Sure, Johnny, thank you for having me. A little bit about me. I am a lifelong resident of the city of Homestead, born and raised there in 1972. So I got 53 years vested. I've seen a lot of change in the community. It's where my heart is. It's where my roots are. So when I say grassroots, I'm truly grassroots Homestead.
There you go.
My father was a farmer. So my background was in agriculture. I actually served the agriculture industry for 30 years. I was in risk management. So I sold crop insurance.
Oh, wow.
So people say crop insurance, no, crop insurance. So I insured the nurseries and potatoes, tomatoes, sweet corn, green beans, and tree farms. And so that was my background and my business, agriculture, insurance, and services for 30 years. NAFTA did not bode well for the farming community, so therefore it didn't bode well for me. And industry changed, so I needed to change with it. People had always thought I was a realtor.
Right.
So they're like, I even had clients who would say, my nursery's for sale, and they would ask about, me selling their farm. And I would say, well, I'm your crop insurance, right, agent? And they said, yeah, I know, but aren't you a realtor also? I said, no, but I actually do know someone. So, and then I got my real estate license during COVID, and now I'm at Kai's. As far as my involvement in the community, I've been serving since I was a teenager. It started first with church outreach activities, and then through civics. I was a member of the Redland District Lions Club, member of the Women's Club. And the Women's Club, I always say that we're a working club. So we've been the sister and the hands and feet to Kiwanis and Rotary, and have served alongside of them with civic organizations, been involved in the Homestead Rodeo and the Rodeo Parade, and I don't know, I've just been everywhere.
Wow, that's amazing. In fact, right before the show, we talked the first time we met was at the Women's Club.
Yeah.
At an event there. That's the first time that we had crossed paths. And I've known about you. It's kind of hard not to know the people that are involved in the community, and I appreciate what you do. Thank you for what you do. And doing all this stuff, I mean, I guess you decided to run for office, but what made you change your mind from, being involved, not elected, to all of a sudden say, okay, you know what, I'm going to run?
Well, I was looking at quality of life for the residents of Homestead. And I mean, I've been giving of my time and service through civics. And I said, well, maybe I can do a little more, get a little deeper involved in the community. So I threw my name in the ring and went out door knocking. It was probably, I will say, hands down, it was the most difficult thing, the most challenging thing I've ever done personally in my life. So I now tell people, we all need to do hard things. Like it makes us better people to challenge ourselves and to step out there. So I'm looking at my goal, I will say, is to hold on to the integrity of what Homestead is. We're a unique community. And that's what people like about Homestead, and that's why they want to live there, because we're not Miami, we're not Kendall,
right?
And we're not Doral, we're not Hialeah, we're Homestead, and we're a different dynamic, and we're a very unique community. And as we continue to grow in size, I want us to retain the integrity of what Homestead is. So that's my heart's desire, is quality of life, and to keep Homestead that small little, at least feel like it's small. It continues to grow in size, but we can still keep that little hometown agriculture community feel.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's been working. I mean, I've been down here for a long time. My last duty station was Homestead Air Force Base, so I've seen it grow.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how things have changed. I mean, I used to walk back to the base before. Now you can't because there's so much traffic, so much everything. But I mean, Homestead has grown a lot, and I mean, I've seen it in good ways, so that's good. And I'm glad that you're in there to keep it, because we need little places like that that remind us of the farmers. In fact, I always tell people that our electeds back then were farmers and people, blue collar people of jobs that understood what was going on. And I'm glad to see that it's kind of trending back that way because people, they're paying more attention, which is good. So I'm glad you did. I'm really glad. And I'm glad that now I think there's more women on the dais now. No?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's another plus. Hey, I mean, we have our first women City of Miami mayor now. So women are making a lot of strides. Yeah. Breaking ceilings everywhere, which is good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
We're workers. Women get things done. We're also problem solvers.
Hey, look, the one that runs the household is my wife, so I agree. And then before that was my mom, so I'm totally in agreement there. So how was knocking on the doors and like, was it a positive? Did you get positive feedback? Did you get doors shut on your face?
Door knocking was my favorite part of running for office. I love the people. I like one-on-one. I like the feedback and just getting to know people, hearing what they had to say. It opened my eyes a lot to the people of the community of Homestead. I live in the northwest section. I grew up mostly on the west side of Homestead, even though you talk about the Air Force Base. I was a child in Leisure City till I was 10. So I remember when the Air Force Base was twice the size it is right now.
Right.
But so spending some time on the east side of Homestead, which was interesting. It's almost like a different city of Homestead, a different dynamic. I loved getting to know the people and hear what they had to say. Why are they here? What do they love about Homestead? What do they want to see changed in Homestead? So that's where I was really hitting home on my own heart and keeping the integrity of Homestead and fighting for, who we are and what we are, and to not become, like I said, Doral and Kendall and Hialeah or whatever other community we're not. And that resonated with people. They agreed with the same thing. That's why they're there.
Right.
So I like I said, I'm very good one-on-one with people, so I enjoyed the conversation with the residents of Homestead.
And how about the phone calls? Making the phone calls, asking for donations. How'd that feel?
Well, being in civics for so long, I feel that when some people see me coming, they're like, "Oh, here she comes. What does she want this time?" Because I'm always asking for something, and we do have a tendency to always ask the same people because they're so generous to the community. So that's the part I did not like. I did not enjoy asking for help, but you got to do what you got to do. Running for office is not free. So.
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. And one of the reasons why I ask you these questions is because I know as time progresses, more young ladies, they're going to look up to you. And, just like, all the young generation do. And it's good for them to hear this, because this is your first time. And this, you've made it like your statement you're saying is, look, you can do it because I'm here now. I did it. We need more women, and we do need more women now. And I'm sorry, men, y'all might get mad at me, but fortunately we do. We need more women in charge because, they do run things. But like I said, I'm glad, and I wanted to talk to you about it. So, have you got sworn in yet?
Yes.
You did.
They chunked me straight in the deep end. So the swearing-in ceremony was at 4 p.m. and my first council meeting was at 5:01 p.m. So.
Oh wow! So you already sat at the dais
yes,
and everything.
We've had 3 council meetings.
How's that experience?
It was I was very nervous. My first, for sure. Second was a little bit better. I'm beginning to feel comfortable and can chime in a little bit. So it's a learning curve. Like you said, it's the first for everything for me. Door knocking was the first, other than, real estate, but this is completely different. I wasn't selling a house, or I was selling not myself, but my idea of what I wanted to do for the city of Homestead. And going back to, young women and being a mentorship, I believe we just need to lead with our heart. Like, don't try to be something that you're not. Like, I'm in it because I represent Homestead. And I kept saying, I am Homestead. 53 years, I know what Homestead is. It's the only community I've ever lived in. but I'm leading out of my heart. Like, I just want to do what's right for the community. I just want to be the voice of the people. So if you just stay true to who you are,
Right.
then that would be my biggest advice to any young woman. Two things, like I said earlier: get out of your comfort zone, get comfortable being uncomfortable. It makes you a better, stronger, more resilient person, and just be who you are. Lead from your heart.
Okay. On the desk, have you gotten hit with the Robert Rules of Order yet?
Yeah, I still have my ethics to do. I did attend. I went to. You asked earlier, off record or off camera, about the League of Cities. So I did take
Right.
an ethics class yesterday. So I'll have to do my ethics training, which we do in real estate, and I had to do in crop insurance as well. But this is a higher level, so I feel like I am in school every day. Every day I'm learning something new.
That's good. That's good.
53, and you never stop learning.
No, you don't. Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. So now you're a new councilwoman. What ideas do you have? Like, what direction would you like the city to take?
Like I said, to continue to
Stay true
Homestead. Stay true to Homestead. I'm very excited about the CRA and the redevelopment of the downtown Homestead.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I grew up. That was downtown Homestead was my homestead.
Right.
There wasn't much more than that, because everything else that is now what I call New Homestead, East Homestead, was all farm fields, and where my dad used to farm. So I'm excited about bringing back the old downtown and making it a community, an area of Homestead that people want to hang out and bring business there, and restaurants and tourism as well, and just a place where Losner Park is beautiful, and
it is.
The Winter Wonderland that's going on right now is fantastic. We're getting a lot of positive feedback from that as well. But if we have more businesses, more activities, more things to do where people can hang out downtown, that would be fantastic. Where it's my understanding that the rodeo parade may be coming back this year, which is another community activity. So getting back to the roots of what Homestead is, I'm excited about that. I just, I'm back to the quality of life. That's my
Right.
intention. So however and whatever that looks like, or however that needs to be done, as things come across the dais, the question to myself when voting is, does it benefit the residents of Homestead? Is it good for them? Does it add to quality of life? If the answer is yes, then it's always a yes for me. So,
No, I totally agree. Have they done the tree lighting ceremony yet?
Yeah.
They have? Well, I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever been to one of those. I've been to a few. I missed this one. But definitely you need to get down to Homestead. Downtown Homestead is awesome. Losner Park, I went there the other day. They've totally rechanged it. It's good. It's beautiful. You got the theater. The Seminole Theater there also. So I mean, look, Homestead is growing. You saying that you don't want to keep it a Doral, but that little Homestead area it's getting nice.
A little bougie.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, let me ask you a question. So, okay, quality of life. Let's go to you ran it up a couple of times. I mean, look, that right now one of the biggest things right now is that people can't afford homes and everything so much. How would you try to fix that in Homestead? Like, what I know we all have ideas when we get into office about what we like to do, and unfortunately it's not a one-person job because you have other people that you got to count on. But just between me and you, just one-on-one, if you had the power to do it, how would you help people be able to afford homes? Because it's bad everywhere, not only in Homestead. I'm into the country completely.
Yeah. That's a big question. Even in real estate, I'm like, how do I make this happen for people? Because there's so many variables involved, and it seems to be a statewide, almost a nationwide problem. Housing, affordable housing. I mean, that's a good one.
No, but you know what? You said something that's very important that a lot of people do not know. Like you said, there's a lot of variables involved.
Yes.
A lot of times, the elected official gets the blame. Oh, because you're causing this. But like you said, there's a lot of variables that as elected official, you don't have control. So continue, because that's what you said was perfect.
Yes.
That's something that people need to know.
Something that I don't think residents are aware of. They think that developments just pop up overnight. But many of these projects have been in the works for years. years on end before I ever even considered running for office. And so there's different things that have to transpire in order to get those projects to groundbreaking stage. So going forward, whatever comes before me that can keep the cost down on these projects that are not here, I will do my best as elected official to keep costs down for them. Whatever I can impose on the developers or whatever value add we can get from the developers to the community, I will fight for. And you asked about, coming in my first time and what I can do as an official. When I sat down with the city attorneys, I said, it's going to break my heart if I come here and find that my hands are tied and there's not a lot that I can do. And that's when he really brought it to my attention that, a lot of these projects have been in the works for a long, long time.
Yes.
So it's not that we're bringing more developments to Homestead. They're already there. So it's going forward. That's what I can do to answer your question. What can I do to keep costs down? What can I do to mitigate those expenses to the residents as more things, the finalization of what has to be done that is brought before council of expenses or whatever we can impose on the developers. I've heard it said they're the big bad wolf, So what can we do to the big bad wolf to help the little residents? Right. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like the cost of living everywhere and for all things continues to go up. So I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of wolves. I mean,
yeah.
Look, and let's just talk about City Homestead. One of the things that I hear a lot is the electric in City Homestead is higher than the FP&L sign, like in unincorporated Dade County. Mm-hmm. And like for instance, when City Homestead, when you pay your electric, you pay the electric, the garbage, the water, all in one bill. Mm-hmm. And if you're late on that, they don't even pick up your garbage. They don't pick up nothing. You get shut down completely. Mm-hmm. Something that doesn't happen in Dade County. Mm-hmm. Is there a fix for that? How can you get help if somebody, a senior that happens to a senior? How can you go about helping that? Where can they go?
To mitigate their expenses? I think it's a case by case because I've been exploring that a little bit just with some individuals that I know, people who I know who work for the city, looking at the grid. I mean, you have residents of city within the city limits that are on Florida Power and Light, some residents outside the city or on city power. Right. It's an anomaly. Yes, it is tricky. And like you say, what are the variables that are included in that? And to your point, in the mid 90s, I lived in the northwest section of Homestead, and it was a converted house into a duplex, and my electric bill was nearly $300 a month for the city of Homestead on my half of this duplex, and the other side was $300 and something, so it would have been about $500 a month for the utilities in this duplex. But now it is 2025. I still live in the northwest section and a home. And my electric runs less than $200 a month or right around $200 a month. So I'm going to go back to it's an anomaly. I would say that we would have to do a case-by-case study because I don't know what causes such a difference in the electric bills. So
right.
I don't. Is it?
And I mean, it's not fair when you put you on the spot either because you just got in there. So I know it's going to take some time to sit with everybody and but. I bring it up because I know it's something that I get asked a lot too. Yeah. Because my address says Homestead, Florida 33033, but I'm not in Homestead.
Right.
I'm in unincorporated Dade. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times people think that I live in the city of Homestead. Now, I'm like, no, I'm in unincorporated.
I'm glad you brought that up. It's something that the council voted on recently was to change the zip code for those who live in the city limits of Homestead, because so many people say the exact same thing. I live in Homestead. Well, technically you live in unincorporated Dade. Yeah. And people were actually showing up to the polls to vote who thought they lived in the city limits of Homestead and found that they couldn't vote. So I thought it was very exciting that we would take this initiative to change the zip code for the city limits of Homestead, because there's things that are that the city gives out for residents of the
Right.
city, so that we give clarity. At the end of the day, it would give clarity to who lives where, and are you a part of, are you unincorporated date, to give some.
So you do okay. So you change the zip code to, would like me that live in unincorporated homestead. Would that change my homestead part? Would that say Miami now, or
I think I
does it
don't
stay
know.
homestead?
I don't know. I would assume I don't know, so don't quote me, that
Yeah,
it
that's
would
in
still say Homestead. But then I think the zip code for those who actually live in the city limits of Homestead, that may change. So there's been a few communities in Miami-Dade County that they've done that. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. Everything in government is a
Oh,
process.
the wheels turn slow, but they turn.
Exactly.
No, that'll be something, because like even now, when I give people my address, they're like, "You live in Homestead?" I'm like,
Mhm.
"Well, it's not technically Homestead because unincorporated. They don't understand the difference." But
Right.
yeah, but everybody believes that I live in Homestead because I give them a Homestead address too.
Right.
But yeah, that's funny. Say, well, that's a good initiative that you guys are taking. That'd be good for the city of Homestead. The residents will take more pride because now because now they're not sharing it with Dade County.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but yeah, they'll take more pride. I live in
Yeah.
Homestead. I actually do live in Homestead. You live in unincorporated.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're having fun. Your other council members, they couldn't be here, by the way. They, all three were going to be here today, but one is Erica. Please get better. She was running a fever, and Jennifer, she's a teacher. And the school, a couple people called out, so she wasn't able to attend either. So they'll be here later on a future show. So yeah, we're missing them, and I hope everything's going okay for them.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, for sure.
So tell me what else. I mean, you're here. You have an audience. What do you want people to know?
What do I? Well,
how do they get a hold of you? They have a problem.
Oh,
For everybody
okay.
in
Well,
Homestead.
good to know. I will give you my personal number. That's the best way to reach me, and I'll take your call. 305-636-9199. I'm at City Hall, so Kim Konsky. It's a good one. I've been in office so short, I don't even know what my email address is yet. So, and I don't have my cards yet. I've taken my picture, but it's not on the wall yet. So there's a lot of things happening, and they happen very quickly. So,
Can they find you on social media? Because that's a big
social
thing
media,
now.
Kim Konsky. Look for me anywhere. You can find me. I'm all over social media, Instagram, Facebook. Elect Kimberly Konsky on Facebook and Instagram. And then just Kimberly Konsky. We were joking earlier that if you say Konsky and you say, "Are you related to?" the answer is yes, because there are no other Konskys other than my family.
Homestead.
Yeah, my family came here in the early 40s. I think my dad came here in 42 or 43. So yeah, that was a fun thing whenever I was out door knocking. They're like, "Are you related to?" And I'm like, "Yeah, probably." Before you could get it out of your mouth, yes.
That's good. That's nice. I guess that's nice to hear when you're walking.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was funny because it didn't matter what section of town I was in either. I was in the southwest section of Homestead, and I knocked on a door one Sunday afternoon, and the gentleman opened the door, and he says, "Konsky." He goes, "I knew your dad." And I said, "You knew my dad?" And he said, "Yeah, I built your house."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he started telling me who he used to work for, and he goes, "I remember you. You were just a kid." And I said, "I remember you. You were just a young man." That was 40 years ago.
Wow. But see, that's the one thing that I do miss, not being where I grew up, because I grew up in New York. And I that's something that I wish I had. You grew up here. You knew the people back then. You're still there. You see them.
Yeah.
Like my kids are enjoying that now. That's the one thing that I do envy of not being in the same place that I grew up, because I think that's one of the best gifts that you can have is see the people around you grow up with you while you're there, and then your children get to see walk the same streets you walked and went to the same schools that you went to.
Yeah, maybe that's why downtown is so near and dear to me.
Well, that's why you say you want to keep Homestead the way it is, Homestead.
Yeah. I know we're going to change.
And the name is perfect, Homestead.
Yeah, right?
So
nothing remains the same. So you have to embrace change. You have to accept the fact that things are going to change.
Yes.
But, you want them to change for the better. You know,
You do, and as elected, you only have so much to control, and like you said, just do your best, and people see that.
and knowing so many people in Homestead, I feel like I am serving with my peers. I am serving my peers, and I'm serving my family, even though we might not be blood related. I've
Right.
known these people my whole life, and I've known their families. And I ran into so many. I was, again, in the Southwest section, I was door knocking, and I said Clark, and they said Clark, and and I ended up knowing the family. And I went I graduated high school with one of the men who had lived in that house.
Hmm.
It was his mother's house or grandmother's house, and all the family was there. And they said, I went on to say, "Oh, you have an aunt that was a teacher." And the man at the door said, "That woman right there, she was my 8th grade typing teacher at Redland Middle School."
Oh wow!
So it's just that
Do they have
warmed my
typing
heart.
anymore?
Not anymore. Now I'm really dating myself. It was the early
I had
80s.
typing class.
So
That's awesome.
serving the people that you are close to, that personally, it makes a difference.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
How's your family assimilating all this big change? Because it's a big change. Because and people have to understand, campaigning is one thing, but once you get elected, that's a whole different ballgame.
I don't know. We'd have to ask them. My younger brother did tell me. He called me on Thanksgiving and said, "I'm so proud of you." Because I asked him, "What do you think Mom and Dad would say?" Because both of my parents have passed on, and they're like, "Oh, Mom and Dad would be so proud of you." But my brother told me, "I'm proud of you," because it's not an easy thing to do.
It's not.
No, again, I'm going to go back to get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's getting better. It's
It's
getting
not.
better.
One of my mentors in politics told me that until you put your name on the ballot, the spotlight's not on you.
Mm-hmm.
But once you do, it's there,
Mm-hmm.
and it's for everybody to see.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, again, I want to thank you for what you do. Thank you for putting yourself out there. Not too many people do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's not easy. Because what people understand that when you run, you get elected. It's not only you, your family does too. Because they're all in the spotlight. Everybody.
You hear that, boys?
Yes, it's true. It's true. They're all in the spotlight no matter what. But as time is running down. Real quick, how was your Thanksgiving, by the way?
Oh, my Thanksgiving was wonderful. It was very small. We've gone from a gathering of about 80 people.
Oh wow!
To a gathering of 8. So I believe it was my mother's favorite holiday, and she liked bringing all the family together, and that's why we had 80. All the in-laws would come, and their family would come, and instead of having to go home to home to home, we would just all come to one home. And with my mom passing, this was my second Thanksgiving without her. Yeah, it's different. The dynamic's different, but we're settling into a new way of doing things without the
Right.
patriarch, but it was fantastic. Family's great. Who doesn't want to be around
I
the
can
family?
tell by your eyes. I mean, thank God I still have my mom. I lost my dad 5 years ago. My dad, the one that raised me, and it's been. I mean, if I tell you that it gets better, it does, and it just, I think of it every day, and I know you're probably there too. So, I feel you. But I know Christmas is coming around. You have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, however you want to say. Nowadays you got to be careful.
Merry
You say
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. There
Christ
you
is
go.
still in it. That's why we
Yes, Merry
celebrate it.
Christmas.
So.
And again, thank you for coming out. It's been great talking to you again. I will see you out there, and I'll be watching these great things that you're doing. Maybe some, maybe in how they have the 100 days. These big parties. Maybe you bring your 100 days to see what your first 100 days is like.
Well, I've been on the front page of the paper twice, and I said now I have to do something to earn it. I mean, not that running for office wasn't hard work, but to be on the cover of the paper, I need to earn it.
And I know you will.
I will.
I mean, I see it in you. I can hear it in your voice. I know you're going to do good, and I know the Homestead is lucky to have you up there now as an elected. I know you'll do great things.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Johnny.
Well, everyone, the time has come. I have one more show before Christmas, but just in case, if you don't tune in next time, you have a Merry Christmas. Stay safe. I expect to see you guys after the new year, of course. And you heard Kimberly, you can get a hold of her. I don't know if you know her number, but you can go on social media like I did. You can get a hold of her. She is very accessible. She called me back. So that she is. And be safe, everyone. And thank you again, Community News, for having us here, for allowing us to do what we do. Thank you, Emily, the person that sets all this up. She's there, and hope she has a Merry Christmas also. This is Johnny Farias.